You're watching Fox 5 KXPI. Your news anytime with the Local News 8 app. Live from your news leader, Local News 8 on Fox starts now.
Thanks for joining us this New Year's Eve. I'm Linda Larson. Check this out. It's going down. We are taking a live look now at the New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square. Thousands of people are in New York to enjoy the famous ball drop, despite a little bit of wet weather. They also have just an hour to go before the ball drops at the stroke of midnight. And closer to home now, a fight in Ammon this New Year's Eve has led to a stabbing. This is video shot this evening by our chief photographer, Dave Barrington. Bonneville County Sheriff's deputies were called to a home in the 100 block of Robinson Drive just after 4:30 this afternoon. They found two groups of teens and young adults that had been involved in a fight.
Through the process of that disturbance or altercation, one person was stabbed and was ultimately transported to the hospital for treatment. I don't have a status or anything on that victim there. The other person involved in that piece of the incident is being questioned, detained right now. So right now they're working through the scene and gathering some evidence and talking to witnesses and other people involved to try to get the rest of the story of what happened.
Deputies detained several witnesses as well as an adult male suspect who allegedly stabbed the victim. The details of what caused the disturbance and who was involved are still under investigation. We will bring you more information as it becomes available. A disturbing crime at a New York City subway station. Surveillance video shows someone pushing a man in front of a moving train on Tuesday, critically injuring him. Dave Carlin has the story.
CBS News New York obtained this disturbing surveillance video showing a victim described by police as 45 years old standing on the platform when a man in a blue hooded jacket comes in from the left side of the screen, then out of view for a moment and then back from the right side of the screen. With no apparent warning, he pushes the man just as the train pulls in. We spoke to a woman who says she saw everything, talking to us exclusively on the condition we not show her face.
It was pretty horrible. I'm okay now.
Was he pushed right in front of a moving train?
Right at the last second, right in front of the train. Just shoved right in front of the train.
Police say they caught a man they are calling a person of interest.
The older man who was pushed just walked slowly right onto the platform, perfect timing. The other man who pushed him was just walking slowly towards him and shoved him the last second.
And then did you see the rescue of getting him out of there?
I did not. I came up to the street, called 911.
The downtown side of the 18th Street subway station at 7th Avenue was closed. So the train could be kept at the station so investigators could interview the train operator.
Things seem to have gotten a lot worse, and I'm just so sad that it happened today. It breaks my heart.
Now, police say the victim suffered a skull fracture from the fall and remains in critical condition. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students 2 years ago apparently was a person of interest in another home invasion that took place in 2021. Police records obtained by CNN show detectives investigated Brian Koberger after someone burglarized a home in Pullman, Washington, about 10 miles from the house in Moscow, Idaho, where the students were killed. One of the 4 residents in the Pullman case reported waking up to a masked person at the end of her bed holding a knife. The resident said that she kicked the suspect in the stomach and the individual left. The woman described the burglar as between 5'3" and 5'5". Koberger is 6 feet tall. Authorities say the Pullman case is currently not active. Koberger remains jailed in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. He has pleaded not guilty to those murder charges. All right, lots of people are headed out to celebrate tonight, so let's check in with Michael now to see what we can expect tonight and for the first day of the next year. Michael, are we in for a cold start to 2025?
Yeah, we are, Linda. Pretty chilly conditions tonight through tomorrow with temperatures well below the seasonal norms. This is all in the wake of the cold front that came through on Sunday and early Monday. We've been sitting with some pretty chilly temperatures today, struggling to get above 30 degrees. Also, we've been seeing areas of freezing fog. We had some this morning. We got some spots of fog tonight, especially especially west of town across the desert and portions of the upper valley. From the fog, you might get a few flakes and flurries. But the big story here tonight is that we're expecting to pick up on snowy weather by tomorrow afternoon. Dry conditions at the moment on first alert radar. You look to the west, you can see some of that snow coming across Oregon, northern California, and bits of northern Nevada tonight. That's the stuff heading in our direction. As a result, the Weather Service posting a winter weather advisory. National Weather Service basically just giving us a heads up. It's not going to be a monster snowstorm, but we will be looking at some inconvenient conditions out there. We might be looking at some slippery spots out there on the roads. We'll be looking to see scattered snow showers and some wind, but not a lot of wind actually. Winds will be behaving. So the biggest concern here is going to be some ice and snow and slush as we get through the next 24 to 36 hours. The storm is going to start rolling through here tomorrow morning, and we'll pick up on scattered snow about 1 to 2 inches on average expected for the Snake River Plain. We get the first round of snow in here tomorrow. More scattered rounds of wet weather waiting in the wings. We have several storms lined up coming in from the west coast as we get to the start of 2025. Temperatures at this moment already sub-zero in Jackson. Clear skies, but cold temperatures too below there. 15 in Idaho Falls and 23 in Pocatello. And we got 12 in Soda Springs, 18 right now in Salmon, and 5 below at the Ranger Station in Stanley. Not a lot of wind tonight, but it takes just a little bit of wind to start knocking down on some of those wind chill values. We got a lot to talk about coming up. We're going to be tracking the snow on the future track, and plus I'm looking ahead into the week next week with dropping temperatures. You'll see that coming through in your 8-day forecast. Linda.
All right, thanks, Michael. Now, even though it is really cold out there tonight, lots of people in Idaho are braving those temperatures for some pretty unique New Year's celebrations.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rupert, Idaho is planning to ring in the new year with their 6th annual Sugar Beet Drop. KIVI reporter Joey Martin spoke with an event organizer who gave a little background behind this very different and very Idaho New Year's celebration.
From one holiday to the next, Rupert, Idaho celebrates like no one else. From Halloween to the New Year, the Rupert Square transforms, embracing the holidays every season. This New Year's Eve, the historic Rupert Square will be ringing in 2025 with a tribute to the backbone crop of southern Idaho's economy.
So this will be the 6th year of the Sugar Beet Drop, and we love sugar beets in Rupert, Idaho.
Obviously it's a sugar beet, right? And we live in ag country, and what a great nod to the ag industry. It's just so great.
The approximately 30-foot tall sugar beet will be hoisted by a crane outside of the Wilson Theater on the 31st. And in tradition with all New Year's celebrations, event coordinator Amanda Larson says the drop will conclude with a big boom to welcome in 2025.
It goes up 150 feet, takes about 30 seconds to drop, nice and pretty and slow, and then it'll boom with fireworks at the end.
Before the clock strikes midnight, the family fun New Year's festivities will begin at 7 p.m.
So there'll be lots of local performers as well as our headliner band, the Aaron Ball Band, coming in from Pocatello. And there's free ice skating all night and some photo events and poppers, things for kids to enjoy New Year's Eve. And then moving into 10 to midnight is the more traditional New Year's Eve party.
For Rupert resident Chris Fox, the Sugar Beet Drop is yet another reason she's proud to live in a community with so much holiday spirit.
The Beet Drop is like kicking off the next new year. It's so much fun. There's such a great feeling when you're down here. You're just lucky to live in Rupert. It's amazing. I'm so ready for 2024 to be gone. So we're welcoming in 2025, really looking forward to it. And so you just have such a sense of pride.
The New Year's celebration kicked off tonight outside the Wilson Theater at 7, and it will be going until past midnight. And Boise will drop it like it's hot tonight. Instead of lowering a New Year's sugar beet, they will be dropping a giant potato. This is the 12th year of this Idaho tradition. At the state capitol New Year's celebration, people will be enjoying fireworks displays, live music, food, drinks, and lots of dancing. And for some people in Pocatello, there's no better way to ring in the new year than on roller skates. Local News 8's Sam Ross spoke with Delita's general manager earlier today to find out what she's expecting from tonight's big New Year's Eve blowout.
We have done a lot of preparation for this. It's been a couple weeks where we decided what kind of theme night we're going to do, and The owner has actually put together all the balloons.
Delita General Manager Sage Curzon decided that the best way to celebrate the new year is by looking back to the past.
You can just dress up in whatever decade you want, your favorite one, and you can just show off your decades, I guess, just to add a little bit of a New Year's fun to it.
For the skating rink's annual themed New Year's Eve bash, people can come dressed in their favorite era of historical clothing and skate right into the new year.
It is just a fun family environment. There's good music. It's a good physical activity. You kind of can go at your own pace.
At midnight, people will welcome 2025 with a balloon drop on the rink and the chance to win New Year's prizes. But Curzon also said it's a great opportunity for family fun.
You can interact with the other people around you. It's kind of just a good family-friendly environment.
Delita's Decades-themed New Year's Eve event party lasts until midnight. Tickets are $12. You still have time to get there. For more information, you can visit localnews8.com. And in New York, tens of thousands of revelers are gathered in Times Square for the annual ball drop. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen is there with the latest and how police are boosting up security.
Tonight, New York City is expecting more than 1 million people right here in Times Square. But no matter how large this crowd gets, police say they'll have enough officers to keep all of them safe. Thousands rushed to take their place in New York's iconic Times Square hours before New Year's Eve celebrations were set to begin.
Everyone said that I shouldn't come, but I don't care. I've never done it, so I really want to.
First time. We woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning to be here at 6.
The more than a century-old tradition drawing spectators from around the world.
Best place in the world to be for New Year's Eve.
Test runs a day early, offering a sneak peek of the impressive 11,000-pound ball, covered with more than 26,000 crystal triangles and over 32,000 lights. Organizers say it will fall alongside 3,000 pounds of confetti come midnight.
It's magical. It's fantastic.
Still, Homeland Security says the Israel-Hamas conflict has created a heightened threat environment with large protests and unsophisticated lone wolf attacks of violence tonight's top concerns. Ahead of festivities, New York City Mayor Eric Adams worked to assure tourists and locals, saying security measures are in place to keep the city safe, including more than 600 new police recruits out in the streets for their first ever detail.
Those who are coming to celebration, follow the rules. We're not going to allow anything to disrupt the celebration, so we want you to follow the rules. Even if you want to protest within the rules.
On top of K-9 teams, police will also have 10 different drone teams patrolling the skies above, and everyone who comes in here will be screened by counterterrorism officers. In Times Square, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
2024 was a busy year when it comes to politics. From assassination attempts to pardons, 2024 was packed full of headlines. We'll review them all when Local News 8 returns.
You're watching Fox 5 KXPI.
You know you want a burger, so make it my Smash Jack. Rated the best burger in fast food. It's even got more beef than a Big Mac. Chin up, Ronald. Maybe you'll get a participation trophy. My Smash Jack, now on sourdough.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Now I gotta cut loose, foot loose, kick off the Sunday shoes. Please, Louise, pull me up from my knees.
Idaho's greatest hits, Arrow 107.1.
At a time when children's mental health is in crisis, we envision a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up. We provide free, expert-developed resources to millions across the United States. Learn more at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
If you think you can find another $5 breakfast meal served all day with something savory like my Bacon Breakfast Jack and something sweet like my fluffy French toast sticks, you thought wrong. But that's okay, I'll still let you have mine. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Local News 8 on Fox continues.
At the beginning of the year, it seemed like the presidential race would be a repeat of 2020, Biden versus Trump. But as spring turned into summer, the election took more twists and turns than a bill on Capitol Hill, culminating in a victory for now President-elect Donald Trump. only the second president in U.S. history to serve non-consecutive terms. Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook details the surprises this year in politics.
It was supposed to be a rematch. Joe Biden, the incumbent, leading Democrats, and Donald Trump, a former president, breaking records with huge primary wins against his Republican challengers. Trump split time between the trail and the courtroom amid a flurry of legal troubles, both civil and criminal. A New York jury found him guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records, making him the first former president convicted of a felony.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
Later in the year, Biden's son Hunter became the first child of a sitting president convicted of felony crimes. Meanwhile, the president, the oldest in American history, faced questions about his ability to serve another term. When the two candidates went head-to-head on the debate stage, Biden's alarming performance led to increased calls for him to drop out of the race.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look.
Two assassination attempts against Trump shook the campaign trail. The first at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. He appeared at the Republican National Convention just a few days later with his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and made a short-lived promise to tone down the rhetoric on the trail.
We rise together or we fall apart.
With just about 100 days left, Biden dropped out of the race, and despite calls from some for an abbreviated primary, the party ultimately rallied behind Vice President Kamala Harris. She became the first black woman and first Asian American to lead a major party ticket.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
She then selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Democrats saw a huge surge in fundraising numbers and endorsements. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whom both sides saw as a potential spoiler, dropped out of the race and endorsed the Republican candidate. Former President Jimmy Carter turned 100 right before he cast his ballot for Harris. Polls predicted a tight race, but Trump landed a decisive electoral victory, carrying all 7 battleground states and the popular vote. Harris conceded.
We must accept the results of this election.
And Biden hosted his predecessor and now successor at the White House.
Welcome back.
Republicans won a trifecta. Mike Johnson is expected to serve as House Speaker and John Thune as Senate Majority Leader. After Mitch McConnell, the longest-serving leader in the chamber's history, announced he would not seek that role again. In a stunning reversal, Biden issued a full and unconditional pardon for his son after the election. Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States on January 20th. In Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook, reporting.
Coming up in this newscast, a look at major stories that made local headlines in 2024, from the Chad Daybell trial to the Teton Pass collapse.
Plus, we're looking at some snow rolling through the region tomorrow. We're under winter weather advisory. We'll talk about the snowfall estimates and what to expect as we get into the first weekend of 2025. Right now, look back at the highs and lows we got earlier today.
This year, our resolution is to help you get more and spend less at Blackers. We're kicking off the new year with incredible discounts. In some cases, up to 75% off East Idaho's largest selection of the name brands you want now. Every item is reduced. Update your living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, kitchens, and laundry rooms. At Blackers, you'll get more and enjoy it longer. Don't miss out on zero-interest financing during this once-a-year savings celebration. Resolve to get more while spending less. Idaho Falls, Blackfoot, and Blackers.com.
Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful.
Scientific research
and real-life experience
tell us that the #1 antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I
am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
And now your first alert weather.
Wrapping up a pretty cold Tuesday, and it's been from that cold front that came in on Sunday and early Monday that's been keeping our temperatures way down for this time of the year, below average temperatures for this time of December. And also with the cold air in place, the moisture we've had for the past couple of days, we've been picking up on some spots of low-hanging cloud cover and fog with some flurries, and it's been pretty foggy tonight, especially as you go west of Idaho Falls and Rigby into West Jefferson County and parts of Lemhi and Custer County here. So closer to the central mountains, we've still been seeing some of that thick fog settling in here for tonight. We're going to shake things up though. We will move that fog out, but we are also pulling in some snow as several storm systems roll on in from the west coast. We're currently at 14 degrees in Rexburg, 15 for Idaho Falls, 23 right now in Pocatello, and we're at 5 below in Stanley, 2 below in Jackson. Winds are staying fairly low in speed, but we do have a really nasty wind chill in Jackson with 10-mile-an-hour winds out of the northeast. So we're going to lose the high pressure that's been keeping that fog in place and the low cloud cover today. We've got quite a bit of moisture coming into California, Oregon. This is what's going to be with us here for New Year's Day. And then further out, we have several systems lined up, a parade of storms, if you will. Just not the kind of parade with a marching band, because these systems will be taking swipes at eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. For tomorrow, we're under the cold part of the jet stream. That's why our temperatures are still going to be just struggling to get above 25 for the high. It's going to be well below freezing for most spots with the scattered snow. Then we have some high pressure nudging in from Vegas, and that's going to set up a southwesterly flow. The next system getting in here late Thursday. It's actually going to be a touch warmer heading into Friday, because we're going to have that southwesterly push ahead of the Saturday cold front, which is going to slide in here by Saturday morning, and we'll have lowering temperatures as we get through the weekend heading into next week. Future track on the job tonight. We got the fog and low cloud cover settling back in here, but here comes the snow at 8 a.m. Scattered snow across the region. It looks fairly snowy out there to get the day started, and then we really start to get into it though as we go late morning, midday, and then throughout the afternoon. You see quite a bit of snow here in far eastern Idaho and western Wyoming with a rain-snow mix as you get into places like Twin Falls, Burley, and a little bit further west. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, about 4 or 5 o'clock, there's still going to be some snow. More intense bands of snow working back towards Jackson and far southeastern Idaho. And then a little bit of snow left over here for Thursday morning, mostly into the mountains. Not a lot of snow for Thursday, just kind of the leftover flurries, if you will. And then we have snow on the way for Thursday night, but you're going to have more of a rain-snow mix getting in here late Thursday through early Friday. You can see what it looks like heading into Friday morning. You're going to have more green on the map with more snow in the higher elevations up towards Island Park and the national parks. Now we get into Friday afternoon, we push the snow on out briefly before the cold front drops in. Some chilly conditions, gusty winds, and more snow by Saturday morning. The first round of snowfall that we expect here for New Year's Day, on average about 1 to 2 inches in the Snake River Plain, and about 4 to 8 inches closer towards Jackson, a couple inches towards Soda Springs, Driggs, and about 4 to 8 into Island Park. Yeah, the lion's share of that snow near the Wyoming state line, with about 1 to 2 inches in the lower elevations. But then we're going to have more snow and rain coming in for Friday this weekend. The scattered snow on tap here for tomorrow. Freezing cold temperatures for highs. Again, numbers barely getting to the mid to upper 20s tomorrow for many spots, except for Preston, slightly warmer at 30, and same for Malad. We should get to 31 in McCammon. We're talking though a lot of 20s here. Lava and east towards Star Valley with a high of 28 towards Afton. Moving over to Driggs, we got a high of 24. 25 in Rexburg, 25 in St. Anthony, and 22 in Island Park. Jackson, you're stuck with the 20s tomorrow, highs in the low 30s on Thursday. We're going to see some melting though on Friday with a high of 40 degrees, so we will get above freezing, and then the temperatures start getting chopped back down to those 20s heading into next week. Moving over to central Idaho, we're going to be about 27 tomorrow for Salmon, 28 for Chow's, 26 for Mackey. Forecast and Salmon showing us highs here in the low 30s for Thursday, but not a lot of wet weather for Thursday. The valleys of central Idaho will pick up on rain and snow chances Friday and Saturday with highs in the upper 30s to low 40s. Aberdeen's at 32, Blackfoot's at 29, and we got highs in Pocatello at 31, 27 in Idaho Falls, and 26 in Rigby. It's cold out there, and it's going to stay cold with added snow as we slide into your New Year's Day. Most of the snow starting to pick up again late in the morning through the early afternoon, and then we'll have more leftover snow on Thursday, just not a lot, and then rain and snow on Friday and Saturday with daytime highs getting above freezing, close to 40 for Friday afternoon. Idaho Falls, similar situation here. We're going to have the seesaw battle between rain and snow as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It gets colder though for Sunday. You'll notice that as the cold front leaves on Saturday, temperatures start getting back below freezing for highs. For tomorrow though, 27 degrees for New Year's Day with scattered snow, Linda.
Yeah, but you know what? Looking at the way the snow is falling and up in the mountains and stuff, it's going to be good for a snowpack, yeah?
Yeah, but we have, well, 1 to 2 inches down in the Snake River Plains could still make for some troublesome travel.
Right. Be careful driving.
Boise gets hit first, and then it moves to Twin Falls, and then here. So, especially if you're heading west, you might be running into some slick spots out there.
All right, so beware of slick spots, but also beware of something else. Here's a heads up for drivers traveling on Highway 20. About 100 elk have been spotted in the Ashton area. These elk are located just east of Highway 20 around milepost 359.5 between Falls River Electric and Tri-State Tire. They have not crossed the road. However, they may decide to do so at any time. Fremont County Police are asking drivers in that area to use extra caution and watch out for those elk. The Idaho Fish and Game is also monitoring the herd. We will inform you as we get more information. And up next, a recap of the Chad Daybell murder trial in Ada County, along with a look back at other major headlines from 2024.
This Skycam Network, sponsored by
Conan Heating and Air Conditioning, serving Idaho Falls and the surrounding areas for over 75 years.
Your Southeast Idaho Chevy dealers.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's this, that, and a whole lot of...
Starting at 8 a.m. on Fox 5.
Modern Homes Inventory Reduction Sale. Prices have been cut drastically to make space for new arrivals. Selection is best. When it's gone, it's gone. East of Coles in Idaho Falls.
Local News 8 on Fox continues.
Welcome back. Here's a look back at some of the major stories that happened in our region in 2024. The 1st of April brought us the start of what may be one of the highest profile trials in Idaho's history, the murder trial of Chad Daybell in Ada County. Daybell was charged in the deaths of his wife Lori Vallow Daybell's 2 children, 7-year-old J.J. Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, and the death of his late wife Tammy in Fremont County. After a nearly 2-month trial, Daybell was found guilty on all charges against him and was sentenced to death. Daybell has appealed his death sentence to the Idaho State Supreme Court. Then on September 20th, the home of Chad Daybell is demolished. The property in Fremont County is where the bodies of his wife Lori Vallow Daybell's 2 children, JJ and Tylee, were found buried. It's also the home where Chad's late wife Tammy died. Then on Saturday, June 8th, a section of the Teton Pass Road collapsed, closing a major connection between eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, just at the start of the busy tourist season. The Wyoming Department of Transportation, along with help from Idaho and the federal government, were able to build a temporary detour around the slide area in about 20 days, and then began work on building a permanent fix. Construction has paused on the project until the spring. July 23rd, the Biscuit Basin area of Yellowstone National Park was rocked when a geyser exploded. This video was shot by Latta March. It shows people running for cover as basketball-sized rocks and other debris rained down on the boardwalk. No serious injuries were reported, but the boardwalk was severely damaged. The park decided it was too close to Biscuit Basin to close the basin for the rest of the 2024 season for safety reasons. Boise State battled with Penn State this evening in the Fiesta Bowl. We'll tell you how they did coming up.
You're watching Fox 5 KXPI.
Too busy being busy? Then it's about time you got lazy. Real lazy. And shop the brand that invented truly comfortable furniture. So kick your feet up, because Lazy Boy is now at Furniture Row. Browse and drowse in our collection of stylish and customizable recliners and sofas, and experience the durability and relaxation you've come to expect from Lazy Boy. Plus, unwind guilt-free with special no-interest financing. Here's to doing less in some well-deserved comfort with the Lazy Boy collection, now at Furniture Row.
A new year and a new adventure, with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters. And every path leads to new possibilities. Current Chevy owners and lessees can get $6,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado when you purchase. Silverado, the #1 selling truck in Southeast Idaho.
Hi, I'm Idaho Superintendent of Public Instruction Debbie Critchfield with a message about school attendance. Students are most likely to succeed when they are in the classroom, and coming to school for older students means they are more likely to graduate from high school on time. It's important that we as parents, educators, and communities make sure our students understand that they learn best when they show up for school. Together, we can show kids that every day matters.
Local News 8 on Fox continues.
The Fiesta Bowl took place in Glendale, Arizona this evening, featuring the Boise State Broncos and the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State knew what a task it would be going up against Ashton Jeanty, who coming into tonight's game was only 132 yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' single-season rushing record. However, Penn State proved to be too much for the Broncos. Jeanty fell nearly 30 yards shy of breaking the record and finished with just 104 yards on the evening. Penn State now moves on to play the winner of Georgia and Notre Dame next week in the Orange Bowl after winning this matchup 31-14. Dang it, just 28 yards shy for him. Shoot.
At least they made it that far.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is great
game.
and amazing. Yeah, and amazing to get that close to a record. But would have been fun to see him do it.
They're enjoying some warmer weather in Arizona. Temperatures today there were in the 70s. Here we were below freezing, and we are going to be stuck with the teens and 20s. We have some snow in the forecast, scattered snow for your Wednesday, New Year's Day. And most of the good snow, of course, skipping over the Snake River Plain, heading to the mountains. But there's enough moisture that we could be seeing some scattered snow across the lower elevations. Heading into Friday, Saturday, temperatures actually warm just a bit above freezing. Some more of a rain-snow mix to get us started for the first full weekend of 2025.
All right, that sounds good. We're going to like moving into a little bit more snow for the ski resorts.
Yeah, no, this is great news for the resort areas. Yeah,
it is.
Definitely.
Yep. All right. In your next half hour of news on Local News 8 on Fox, we're going to take a closer look at the impact President Jimmy Carter had during his many years of service with Habitat for Humanity. Plus, the story behind this scary encounter with Mother Nature as a fisherman is caught in the water during a tornado, but survives.